Hi everyone, Cosmic Mango here, your favorite mango from outer space. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. You don't always have to spend a lot of money to get a fun and powerful commander. In fact, commander in general doesn't have to be a massive ache in the bank account. I'm here today to share with you 10 fantastic budget commanders that you need to try. The cards I've listed are all either strong or incredibly fun to play. I'm hoping that something I've listed in the video gets your deck brew on. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Number 1. Anowon, the Ruined Thief. A legendary vampire rogue creature that costs 1 black, 1 blue, and 2 generic mana to cast. He has 2 power and 4 toughness and says the following. Other rogues you control get +1/+1. Whenever one or more rogues you control deal combat damage to a player, that player mills a card for each 1 damage dealt to them. If that player mills at least 1 creature card this way, you draw a card. To mill a card, a player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. Anowon is most definitely the rogue typal commander you've been looking for. He offers a great package of abilities that synergize nicely. We get to mill our opponents, and if it's a creature card that's mill, we even get to draw a card. Oh, and don't forget the +1/+1 static buff for all our rogues on the battlefield. A very helpful ability indeed. Anowon can massively help you clutch a win if he stays on the battlefield long enough, so make sure to equip him up with hexproof and other protection spells. You can buy this commander for around $1. Number 2. Atla, Palani Nest Tender. A legendary human shaman creature that costs 1 white, 1 green, 1 red, and 1 generic mana to cast. She has 2 power and 3 toughness and says the following. For 2 generic and tap, create a 0/1 green egg creature token with Defender. Whenever an egg you control dies, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So I used to have an Atla deck a couple of years ago and very much enjoyed it. It was both powerful and fun to play. There's of course ways to abuse this commander massively, such as utilizing the Thornbite Staff combo with Atla, but I chose not to run a deck that way. Instead, my deck was just a nice deck I could kick back and chill with. The main premise of the deck was to fill it with loads of huge stompy creatures, generate eggs using Atla, and then destroy those eggs to flip the top few cards from my deck until something humongous jumps out to scare my opponents. It was very fun. Atlas is a great and definitely fun commander to build around, and you can buy this commander for around $1. Number 3. Tovolar, Dire Overlord. This commander has 2 sides, so be ready for a lot of card text, my friends. Okay, let's go. Tovolar is a legendary human werewolf creature that costs 1 green, 1 red, and 1 generic mana to cast. He has 3 power and 3 toughness, and his human form says the following. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves and or werewolves, it becomes night. Then transform any number of human werewolves you control. Daybound. His flip side says, Tovolar, Midnight Scourge, full werewolf form, and it says the following. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. For X, red, and green, target wolf or werewolf you control gets X +0 and gains trample until the end of turn. Nightbound. Tovolar is by far the best choice for anyone wanting to build a werewolf typal deck. The commander itself offers so much great card text and everything you need to make your werewolf shine. Tovolar is a very aggressive and powerful commander that can reward you with card draw to keep the werewolf army going. You got to love this furry boy. You can buy his commander for around 80 cents. Number 4. Alela, Artful Provocateur. A legendary fairy warlock creature that costs 1 black, 1 blue, 1 white, and 1 generic mana to cast. She has 2 power and 3 toughness and says the following. Flying, Death Touch, Lifelink. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+0. Whenever you cast an artifact or enchantment spell, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. You'd be amazed at how fast you can generate a token army with Alela. It's pretty gnarly. Those tokens have flying and can get buffed up by Alela too, making winning by combat damage very easily achieved once you've generated enough flying tokens. If you're looking for an engaging commander that can scale in power from mid to late game, I strongly encourage giving Alela a shot. You can buy this commander for around 90 cents. Number 5. Isshin, 2 heavens as 1. A legendary human samurai creature that costs 1 black, 1 red and 1 white mana to cast. He has 3 power and 4 toughness and says the following. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Isshin is a type of commander that will always be relevant and just keep getting stronger with time. This is because as every new set of magic comes out, we'll be seeing more and more cards that have triggered abilities from attacking creatures being printed. This makes Isshin a great commander to invest into, and at the moment he is totally budget friendly and opens the doors to a large variety of deck brewing strategies. You can buy this commander for around 85 cents. Number 6. Doran, the Siege Tower. A legendary tree folk shaman creature that costs 1 green, 1 black, 1 white mana to cast. He has 0 power and 4 toughness and says the following. Each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. A very simple ability that can completely warp and turn a commander game upside down. Doran, the King of the Trees, is a very fun and powerful commander to pick up. His ability is very unique. Being able to deal damage with toughness is something very rare. Doran has the power to completely change opponents' game strategies and gives a breath of fresh air to the table. Something different and fun to play around. You can buy this commander for around $1. Number 7. Jodah, Archmage Eternal. A legendary human wizard that costs 1 white, 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 generic mana to cast. He has 4 power and 3 toughness and says the following. Flying. You may pay white, blue, black, red, green rather than pay the mana cost for spells that you cast. So basically you can pay 1 of each mana of the 5 manas instead of paying any other casting costs, for example 7, 10, whatever amount. So you basically shortcuts your casting costs. Jodah at first glance might look a little annoying and your eyes scroll around those mana symbols. 5 colours is a lot to add to a deck on a budget, but it can be done. Trust me, I've done it before. I built a Jodah deck with dozens of my budget lands and it still performed very well. Jodah is a deck full of fun. He allows you to cast enormous spells for only 5 total mana, as long as you pay 1 of each colour to cast it, of course. We have access to green, so we can ramp up the specific land colours we need, and we can also add in some great artifacts or creatures on a budget that tap for multicoloured mana. You can do so many cool things with Jodah. He allows you to brew a deck so many different and unique ways. No Jodah deck really feels the same. You can buy his commander for around 70 cents. Number 8. Vega the Watcher. A legendary bird spirit creature that costs 1 blue, 1 white and 1 generic mana to cast. It has 2 power and 2 toughness and says the following. Flying. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, draw a card. Okay, at first glance, you're probably wondering why I've added this odd owl to the list. It may look slightly underwhelming, but boy oh boy are you wrong. His passive ability makes him shine. There are so many ways you can cast spells from anywhere other than your hand, making this owl a card drawing machine. In case you think I'm talking gibberish, here's a list of ways you can cast spells without casting them from your hand. We've got Flashback, Foretell, Adventure, Cipher, Retrace, and the list goes on. If you're looking for something unique and a little bit wacky to play, you'll love Vega the Watcher. You can buy this commander for around 35 cents. Number 9. Light-Paws, Emperor's Voice. A legendary fox advisor creature that costs 1 white, 1 generic mana to cast. She has 2 power and 2 toughness and says the following. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to the aura with a different name than each aura you control. Put that card onto the battlefield, attach the Light-Paws, Emperor's Voice, then shuffle. So for a low casting cost of 2, Light-Paws is pretty amazing. She essentially is a tutor spell on a stick. We get highly rewarded whenever we successfully cast an aura spell as it enters the battlefield, as we get to tutor for another different one if Light-Paws is out. She's an incredibly fast Voltron style commander and can win games out of nowhere. She is, however, a glass cannon, and often opponents will try to kill Light-Paws on sight, so make sure to stick in some lovely protection spells to keep her healthy and strong throughout the game. You can buy this commander for around $1. Number 10, the final card on my list, Liesa, Shroud of Dusk. A legendary angel creature that costs 2 white, 1 black and 2 generic mana to cast. She has 5 power and 5 toughness and says the following. Rather than pay 2 generic mana for each previous time you've cast a spell from the command zone this game, pay 2 life that many times. Flying lifelink, whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life. So Liesa is a very powerful commander. One of the coolest things she does, and which is very unique, is that we have the option to pay 2 life instead of the 2 generic mana command attacks for each time she died. So if she died twice, you can instead pay 4 life instead of 4 generic mana as the extra caster cost. This is so good, as Orzhov isn't really known for ramping up lots of mana, like green for example. Meaning you can keep Liesa out very easily, often opponents won't even bother removing her because of this ability. I love how she's heavily taxes players' life totals whenever they cast a spell. Build a deck with lots of life gain and you'll be fine, while your opponents on the other hand will struggle to cast spells. 2 life per spell can stack up fast, especially if you're beating your opponent's life totals with lifelink attackers as well. Throw in some life drain cards and you're going to be having a very good time. Your opponent's not so much, but you will be, and that's the main thing, yeah? You can buy this commander for around $1. Okie dokie everyone, that is the end of my list. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would you kindly drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. It's a huge goal of mine, and making that milestone would be amazing. I'd love to know if you have any budget commander recommendations. If you do, please share them in the comment section below. I love reading your comments and try to answer back to as many of the comments as I can. Thanks for watching everyone, and as always, take care and goodbye.